afternoon, everybody. Welcome to my kitchen. For those who haven't met me or don't know me yet, my name is Michelle and I am a local team leader here with Thermomix. And we have been running these online demonstrations for about 6 months now. Who would have thought? So today on here we have quite a few of my team members who you're going to meet today. Some of them are presenting. We have others in the background who are here supporting customers. Some of the customers on here have had their Thermomix for a long time and they've actually been coming to these for the last 6 months and have really become our groupies, which we're very grateful for and love. We've got a few people on here today who are new to Thermomix completely and are coming to see what it's all about. And we've got some here who are guests of our customers, and that means that they're hosting. So today's experience is going to be a very general information and a lot of information, and we do move at a fairly fast pace because with the amazing technology of Zoom, we are going to zoom into different kitchens around Melbourne, into our different consultants' kitchens and see what they're doing. But while things are maybe sauteing or mixing or cooking, we'll go to someone else's kitchen. So we will move quite fast. We have got signs up to show you what we're making, and we do have a couple of girls running the chat box as well. So I've got Julie and Kirsten in the background there as well, running our chat box. So if you're not sure, please pop any questions in there. Is there anyone, just before we start, is there anyone who's new to Zoom? If you are, just pop your screen in speaker view rather than gallery view. So if you're seeing just me chatting at the moment, that's great, because that means that when we're kind of focused on the Thermomix that we're going to see. If you're currently looking at all little squares with all the crowd in it, if you change that view, because otherwise you won't be able to see the Thermomix. It's just going to be, we're expecting about 100 people today, so it's going to be hard to find the Thermomix in those little squares. And then what our tech girls in the background are doing in a spotlight to whoever's presenting, so you can really see what's happening and hear what's happening as well. So what we have for you today are 3 opportunities. Now, this message particularly to our regulars, but for new people as well. If you come to our cooking experiences and then you invite 2 people along, you are eligible for host rewards. Now, obviously you've kept coming back because you enjoy it. So I reckon other people will as well. And one of the things that we've experienced, and we look at what the most popular shows are on TV, and cooking shows are one of the most popular shows on TV when it comes to reality TV shows. So we're providing a cooking show with the ability to ask questions. How cool is that? It's like cooking shows and Gogglebox combined. We love it. So keep that in mind. We'd really love to, we love giving you these extra hints and tips. We love your support of you coming along. But if you invite a couple of people along as well, then that's you hosting and you're introducing new people to Thermomix, because you're obviously here because you love it. So have a think about who in your life might love it as well. We will, throughout demonstration, we will be using the host rewards today. So we will introduce those as we go along as well. The other opportunity is that you might want to actually just host your own cooking experience and just have a private demonstration. So the things that we're doing today may or may not be things that you are cooking at home or you want to cook at home, but we will talk about the different functions. So they all translate to different functions and you can really cook an endless amount of things. So if you're at the end of today go, I'm interested, but I'd really like to see it do something that's really specific to you and your family, please speak to your consultant, because I know she'd be more than happy, she or he would be more than happy to jump on a Zoom with you and do that thing that's specific to you and your family or your friends. We also have an amazing offer at the moment in relation to joining our business. So have a look at us today, listen to our banter. We do put a bit of a run sheet together at the start, but we're also a bit organic as well, and we'll kind of call out, I'm not ready or I'm ready, and we have a lot of fun. And we've actually all just had these big virtual hugs over the last couple of months, just going, this is what kept us sane and come through this COVID situation, or still going through it, but relatively unscathed, we think, because we've just had all this food love to think of, because at the moment we don't know what each day is going to bring, but we do know we've got to eat and we do know we've got to feed our families. So if we can do that with a bit of excitement and a bit of passion, a bit of love, then that's that's all we can ask for. So I think, as we've all decided, we have all come back to the simple things. So what I'd love to do, I think that was a big open welcome, and there will be some other things that we'll talk about as we go on, but what I would love to just get a bit of an idea, and I know you all filled out the questionnaire, but just with a bit of maybe thumbs up, or whether it be through the reactions in Zoom for those who are familiar with it, or a physical thumbs up. We talk about Thermomix having lots of different benefits, and I would love to know which is the most important one to you. So for those of you who are really interested in health, do you want to give me a bit of a thumbs up out there, please? Oh, quite a few of you. Awesome. And what about simplicity? Who just wants to just get in, do something simple and get out? Yeah, lovely. Thank you. And speed. Who wants just the meal times to be quick? Awesome. Who wants to be more creative in the kitchen? Oh, a couple of double thumbs up there. I love it. And last but certainly not least, who wants to save money? Awesome. Well, I love the fact, thank you for those who played along, and I love the fact that some of you actually did put your thumb up for all 5 of those. And I actually have got a little secret, which those who've been here before know this secret. All of these things are benefits of using the Thermomix. And when you do host your own private cooking experience, your consultant will focus on the 1 or 2 things that is the most important to you. But again, today we will give it more general messages to show that these things are all benefits. So before we start cooking, I'd just like to introduce you to the price. So the price of the Thermomix is $2,269. It is all inclusive. It comes with everything that you need to start cooking, and we do offer some different payment options available. Now, until the end of September, a very popular payment option right now is to earn your Thermomix. So we have a great offer that if you sign up before the end of September, you can earn your Thermomix with only 4 sales in your trial period, your 60-day trial period. It's very achievable. We've got some people on here today, consultants in my team, who are sitting here because they've already earned their Thermomix, and now they're inviting their customers along to partake in our classes. Our other option is we have a limited time offer for 8 weeks. So limited time, because we don't have it all the time, is a 36 months interest free. It means it costs only $16 or just over $16 a week to get a Thermomix on your bench and start saving now. I know we talked about cost saving being last but not least. A lot of people say they experience between $60 and $80 a week saving off their grocery bill. So if you're paying $16 something a week for your payment and you're saving 60 to 80, then you're going to be well in front. So again, speak to your consultant if you'd like a little bit more information about what that looks like. So what we're going to do, I'm going to leave it on this page here. This has got 20 different functions, which are 20 different functions that the TM6 does. So it's basically 20 appliances in one. So it very much earns its space on your bench. For those of you out there who are TM6 owners, you would have woken up one day this week, I think it was Wednesday morning, turned it on, and overnight some magic happened and some new modes were introduced. So if you're not sure how they work or you're not sure what they are, there was an email sent out, but again, reach out to your consultant because you now have an enhanced cleaning mode, which is really cool. We now have a warm-up mode. So if you've made some dinner the night before and you just want to warm it up in your Thermomix, you can do it in there. We also have built-in videos into some of the recipes. So we will show you one of those today just to see what that looks like. So when there's hints and tricks on a recipe and they're giving you advice on what to do, there's little videos inputted into the Thermomix screen so you can actually watch that and just see exactly how to do it. And we also have an egg boiler mode, so which you're actually going to get to see today. So I'm not going to spoil any of that because Denise is going to talk about that a little bit later on. So what I'm going to do just before we go on, for those who are completely new to Thermomix, I am going to just introduce you to my business partner here and take you in a little bit closer on that screen there. And just show you that the Thermomix is effectively like having a mini iPad built into the screen of your Thermomix here. So you can see 4 dots along the bottom, that represents 4 screens. So if I scroll this way or swipe this way, it takes me into the Cookie Do platform. Cookie Do is, we refer to the TM6 as a smart connected kitchen. So Cookie Do is our recipe platform. It's basically your Netflix for recipes. It's the best way to describe it. There are over 60,000 recipes across 19 countries. And when I scroll down here, there's all this other information which you can see whether you're looking at that on the app, the screen of your Thermomix, or on your desktop or laptop. So any device. So it's a really integrated system. Then when I go the other way, I'm back on this home screen here. Now you can cook manually in the TM6. So for any of you who've come along today with your TM31, and you love your TM31, and I totally get that because I've got one too, and even though I have a TM5 and a TM6, I still haven't parted with my TM31. It's like your firstborn child. But it does, they love the manual cooking, the TM31 owners. So I want you to know you can still do that with your TM6.
It's just that because you've got some extra features like your high heat and all those things, you can be more creative with your manual cooking. And then when we go the other way, this is when we access all of those modes that I referenced before. So we'll touch on these as we go through, but I wanted to just give you a little bit of an introduction to the screen and the machine and what it looks like. And what we will do now is, I just quickly on the topic today, we called it Around the World because I am so lucky to have a really multicultural team. So within the team, we represent Singapore, Malaysia, Italy, France, Ireland, England, India. I'm not sure if I've left any out, but if I have, so what we're doing, we're actually splitting this over 2 weeks because all of us were like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. So you'll see a few of the girls today doing dishes that are specific to them, and then we'll create another menu for next week as well. So due to the multiculturalism of our team, we've really learned a lot about food as well, which is an awesome reason to be a consultant as well. So I think we're flicking over to the gorgeous Angie first, and she will introduce her dish to you, and I will be back with you a little bit later on. Thanks, Angie.
Hi everyone, I'm Angie, and as you can see, I'm making Ayam kapitan today, which is a curry chicken from Nyonya, Malaysia. It's just a little bit about this story about the Ayam kapitan. Is a Malaysian Nyonya curry chicken which uses very common household ingredients. Does not even use any curry powder or other spices like cumin, coriander, fennel seed, like in an Indian or Malay curry. The word kapitan is a title given to leaders of overseas Chinese enclaves in Southeast Asia. They are Chinese who have contribution during the time of Malay Sultanate. And I understand that this curry was created by a chef that worked with the kapitan long ago, and he used his own concoction of spice and herbs mixed to cook this special dish. And the kapitan liked it very much, and the dish became famous. So we call it Ayam kapitan. Ayam is chicken, so Ayam kapitan is how we get it. Okay, so now let's get cooking. Okay, will you be able to see the screen? Yeah. Okay, so now we start cooking. Over here it says that place 6 to 12 dried red chili, trimmed and deseeded if preferred, into a bowl and cover with warm water and set it aside to soak for 5 minutes, which I have done earlier. This is a dry chili, so I cut it and deseed it and then soak in the warm water for 5 minutes. Okay, and then we go to the next. So it's using a simmering basket to drain the chili, okay, which I've done that. And so I have to put 40 grams of vegetable oil. Okay. So I use olive oil, which is okay, whatever oil you like. You can even use coconut oil. Okay, exactly. Next, so 4 to 8 fresh long chili, trimmed and deseeded if you prefer. So I have cut it and deseeded. If you like it a bit hot, then you can leave it on. Okay, next, 2 garlic cloves. Next, 100 grams of scallop. Okay. 100 grams of red onion, and 2 candle nuts. So this is candle nuts. You can replace it with macadamia nuts, okay? Next is 5 pieces of fresh turmeric. I don't have a fresh one, I'm using the frozen one. Okay, so next, okay, this is a shrimp paste, which is we call belacan. So it's come in a pack. You can get it in Coles or Woolworth. So this is a shrimp paste. Okay, next, 20 grams of water. And we go to next, drain soaked chili. Next, okay, and insert the measuring cup. So this is how full everything is in there. Press next, so only 20 seconds. And we turn to the selector to speed 10.
So that's a great tip from Angie there. She had her turmeric and she's kept it in the freezer. So things like ginger, turmeric, chilies, lemongrass, any of those sorts of things are really great to buy when they're in season and then keep them in the freezer so when you need them, you've got them on hand.
Okay. Let's see. With 20 seconds, look at that. How wonderful is that? Okay, so I scrape down all the mixture. Smells so nice.
The colour looks beautiful too, Angie.
Yeah, that's right. You can't get, you know, with your food processor, I think you have to blend for about a minute or so. This is only 20 seconds.
Amazing.
Okay. And we press next. So now we have to cook for 10 minutes and 100 degrees on speed 2. Okay. And then we will come back when that's ready for 10 minutes. So I think the next we're going to Lianne. Is that right?
Thanks, Angie. Over to Lianne.
Hi everyone, I'm Lianne and today I'm going to make a dish called Nutty passion fruit pork ribs. So this is quite a different recipe, and I have to say when I first saw it I was a bit skeptical, but after I made it, it's actually really delicious, and it's a bit of a cross of coffee ribs and sweet and sour pork. So the whole passion fruit gives it a little tangy and sweetness to it, so I really enjoyed it. So let's cook. All right, so the first step really is to weigh in the ribs, which is 500 grams, and marinate it for half an hour, which I have done. And in it, it's light soy, dark soy, a little bit of baking soda as to tenderize your meat, and homemade chicken stock powder, which I have in my fridge, and also 5-spice powder. The marinade also calls for sugar, but instead of fresh passion fruit, which I didn't have, I'm using a tin passion fruit with in the syrup. So I've left the sugar out in the marinade, just so that it's not too sweet. All right, so I'm gonna pop that aside first because my first step is to make like a passion fruit sauce or syrup, if you must, if you like. So I'm gonna start with putting 120 grams of water. And 150 grams, it asks for fresh, but I'm just gonna put a whole small tin of your passion fruit in syrup, which is just a tad over, so it's about 160 grams, which is fine. And then I am going to find my MC. All right, so I'm gonna put that on, and that's gonna cook for about 5 minutes. And after that 5 minutes, I'm going to strain so to get the seeds out, but to get it as much of the liquid as possible. So I'm going to finish that step, and now we're going on to Olivia.
Hi everyone, welcome to my kitchen in East Sydney. I am relatively new to Thermomix actually. I've had mine for about 6 weeks now, but I'm loving using it, and I'm not new to Thermomix as a concept because as you might hear, I'm from the UK originally and actually grew up in the 80s with my mum, had one of the really old school Thermomixes with bright orange lids. So I grew up with mum cooking everything from scratch, making her mayonnaise, ice cream, soups and things in the Thermomix as well. But I'm really enjoying getting to know my Thermomix, and in particular cooking meals for my young family and meals that we can all enjoy together. So I've got a 2-year-old and a 7-month-old, and so the joy of cooking one thing in one pot or 2 pots that we can all eat is fantastic. So I'll bring you in and show you the recipe that I'm making today, which is from the UK version of Cookie Dough. So this for those that don't know, you can go into My Week and see the recipes that you've saved to cook. And today, then I just select the recipe that I've chosen, which is a sweet potato and courgette frittata, or zucchini, you might call it here. So we'll start cooking. And it's asking me to preheat the oven, which I've already turned that on. So we're good to go. And it's just asking me to put in some parsley. So I'll tear the scales here so you can see and pop in my fresh parsley. Pop the lid on. And 3 seconds of chopping. Look it up. 3 seconds later, we've got a beautifully chopped parsley. Gonna pop that into a bowl. It tells me every single little step of the recipe, so it's literally as easy as click and go. Put that parsley into a bowl quickly. And the beauty here is I don't need to rinse out that bowl because anything that's left in there will just go into the main part of my recipe. So next it's asking me to add in some ginger, which I've just chopped up, fresh ginger a bit earlier on. And 30 grams of olive oil. So it's slightly more high-tech than the 80s version of the Thermomix. I don't think that had inbuilt scales, but you can see how exact the scales are in the TM6. Again, 3 more seconds. Asking me to scrape down the sides so I can make sure I'm not losing any of that beautiful ginger. And then I'm just popping in 100 grams of red onions, just chopped into quarters. Again, the Thermomix is going to take all the effort out of chopping. Another 3 seconds. See how easy is that. So once again, I'll scrape that down. Pop the lid back on. And now this is going to cook for 3 minutes at a high temperature of 120 degrees. And I think I'm handing back to Angie now.
I think they might come to me, Olivia.
Okay, over to you.
I mucked up the start and they were too polite to tell me, but we're supposed to go to Lianne first before. So here we are. It's very organic. We've all just rewritten the run sheet in the background in the last couple of minutes while those girls showed you all those awesome things. I am very lucky today because I am doing something very simple, but we wanted to just show you that sometimes you will use your Thermomix for the whole meal and sometimes you'll just use it for a component of a meal. So we're doing burgers for dinner tonight and we wanted to show you that you could just do beautiful caramelized onions. So I'm going to bring you over to my screen here. Now I mentioned before about cookie dough. Now with cookie dough, you can do meal plans. You can add things to your week, which the other girls have shown you. The other thing you can do is you can go into recently cooked. So, you know, if you make porridge every morning or banana bread a couple times a week, you can go in and grab your things that you've recently cooked. So I'm going to go into my caramelized onions and restart. And once you're in your recipe, there's an arrow here. So it just shows you there's more information down here. So you can have a look at your recipe to see the level of difficulty, your prep time, your total time, and your serving size as well. Then down the left-hand side, you've got your ingredients listed. And then a bit lower, you've got the nutritional information. A lot of our customers have really enjoyed this information, particularly we've got a lot of people following sort of say low carb or keto type diets or managing their protein intake. So they've found that very useful. And then our recipes will have sort of hints, tips and variations as well at the bottom there. But when you're ready to start cooking, you just press start cooking. So I'm going to lift this up just so you can see the food going in as well. So
you can see there that there's built-in scales and they do weigh to 1 gram, which is pretty cool. So if you're here with a TM31, your scales weigh to 10 grams. If you have a TM5, they weigh to 5 grams, and with the TM6, it weighs to 1 gram. So it says 400 to 500 grams of onions cut into wedges. So I've got that there. I think my mum's on today. It's in Tupperware. Here we go. In it goes. So I'm going to go next. And now I've got my lid here with the measuring cup in. Now, for those of you with TM5s out there, you might notice that the measuring cup isn't falling out. It's the little things in life, isn't it? The new measuring cup has got wings on it, which means it won't fall out when you tip it up like that. And it is compatible with the TM5. So if you do want to buy yourself a new lid, jump on and to our mix shop and do that. But this recipe, because it uses our high heat function, which is 160 degrees, actually uses the splash guard. So the splash guard has got the hole covered for safety, so you can't be tempted to look in the hole and have a look at the 160 degree oil splashing up in your eye, but it has got the holes around the side to let that steam escape. So I'm going to pop that on, press done, and you can see here that this mode is just the high heat mode. So I just turn that on. It's preset the time. It's got temperature as maximum. So that will just sit. That means now that I've got my onions on, I can be going away, doing anything else, and they're going to caramelise in that beautiful high heat and get all delicious. And the next step is to add a little bit of balsamic vinegar at the end to really get that beautiful caramelisation throughout the onions. So I just wanted to share that with you because there are inbuilt recipes just to do that. So there's lots of little things where you might just use it for component and other times where you might use it for your whole meal. Now, I don't have the run sheet in front of me when I'm talking, so I'm not sure who's next, but I think we might be going to Lianne. Yay! And we're back on track.
All right, welcome back. So I have strained the passion fruit liquid. And it does yield quite a bit, but we'll be using it and it's going to cook down into a really caramelized kind of coating for your pot ribs, which is really delicious. So my next step is to add 140 grams of this reserved liquid. So I'm just going to weigh in 140 grams. All right, 140 grams. Next, and then I'll add in the marinated pork spare ribs. So I'll pop that in. Ooh, I almost dropped them. That would be funny. All right, so I'm just gonna now cook that for 25 minutes on 120 degrees and reverse spoon speed, which is very much like how you're stirring it on the stove, but I don't have to. And then you'll come back to me later for another 3 minutes of cook. So over to Olivia.
Hi everyone, back with me. So all that's happened there is my red onion and ginger have sauteed away for a few minutes. And then my next step is to add in the veggies for this frittata. So there's 200 grams of sweet potato going in. I didn't bother peeling it because I thought get all that goodness out of the skin as well. Some courgettes or zucchini if you prefer. 100 grams of those going in. And 100 grams of red pepper or red capsicum. And it's going to chop all of those up for 10 seconds. Show you what that's done to those veggies in 10 seconds. So it's chopped them all up beautifully. So you'll scrape them down, and then these are going to cook for another 5 minutes. So I think we're back on track to, I'll hand it back to Michelle.
Over to Angie.
Hi everyone. Yeah, we got picked up there, but it's all right. So look at the curry paste. It's all done. Look at the color. Okay, so now we just add the chicken in. So the recipe asks for chicken lovely legs, which is with the bone intact. So normally we use with the skin as well, but this recipe I'm trying to follow. So I use the chicken lovely legs. So I'll just put it in. 4 to 6, I put 5 in it. Okay, and then next 150 grams of coconut milk. A teaspoon of salt. A teaspoon of sugar. And into the measuring cup and cook for 15 minutes. And after that, I will just add some lime juice and some kaffir lime leaf from my backyard. And I'll come back to show you the end dishes. Okay, now we're going to Teresa with her yummy dessert, tiramisu.
Hi. So we're making the
Hi,
tiramisu.
Teresa.
Hi. Can you hear me?
We can.
So we're making the tiramisu today. Then I've got it in my week for today. Up it comes. So to start cooking, it wants me to weigh the sponge finger biscuits. So they're already ready to go. I'm using these ones. And it's asked me to set that aside. Just wanted me to weigh it. I don't need to weigh it because I already know how much I weigh, so it's fine. It wanted 400 grams of strong brewed coffee. So that's something I prepared earlier as well. So I may have accidentally slipped in some Baileys in that. And then I set that aside and put it in the refrigerator. So now it just wants me to put in the butterfly whisk. And then it wants me to put in my 3 eggs, which I've already broken in my bowl. So in they go. And then it just wants me to put in the sugar. Sorry. Reducing it just by a little bit. I don't want all that sugar. And then we just put it on the lid, and it wants me to, for 6 minutes, to whisk it with the butterfly whisk that we put in on speed 4. So I'll do that and come back to me later.
Thanks, Teresa. Hi, Olivia.
Hi there. So just wanted to say, all those veggies are cooking away for a bit, and then after that, I'll be following the next steps, which I might show you this actually because it's quite a useful point. Even whilst you're cooking in a recipe, so those veggies are still cooking, I can go in to see the recipe detail, or I can also use the scales. So if I go into the recipe detail, I can have a little scroll down to see what's coming up next. So all I'm going to be doing next is taking those veggies out once they're cooked, and then popping the eggs, 6 large eggs, into the bowl with a bit of salt to mix those. And then I'll start cooking the eggs in a frying pan for about 5 minutes until they're almost set. And then I think it'll come back to me to see the veggies going into the eggs. So I think we're going over to Denise now to have a look at the new egg boiling function.
Thanks, Olivia.
To my kitchen here in Mentone, Victoria. We've got some people from interstate.
Denise, we can't see you just yet. I'm just going to spotlight to you. There you are.
Oh, hey. Hi, everybody.
Hi, Dee.
Nice to be seen and heard. So welcome everyone to my kitchen here in Mentone. I have probably the simplest task today, even more simpler than Michelle's caramelising onions, and that is boiling eggs. So being that it takes about 30 seconds, I thought I would just spend a little bit of time with you talking about why we eat eggs, where did eggs come from? So eggs have actually been eaten by humans for over 6 million years, the humble egg. And there is archaeological evidence that egg consumption went all the way back to the Neolithic age. So why do people eat eggs? Well, they're full of protein and they don't fight back like a Neolithic tiger would. So they're a really great protein source, and people could just climb to a nest and just get them back in those days. But at some point, people did start domesticating and keeping chickens for eggs so that they didn't have to hunt in the wild for them. And in China and India, that was around about 7,000 BC. And in Europe, West Asia and Egypt, around 800 BC. And then not into the southern African countries until about 500 BC. But before that, people in Europe and West Asia were using ducks and geese for eggs. So how did people used to cook their eggs? Well, first humans actually just ate them raw because they didn't have fire. And then about 1 million years ago, when humans discovered fire, they started roasting them in coals. And then with the invention of pottery, about 5,000 BC. I can't hear. People having trouble hearing. Oh, about 5. People having trouble hearing. About 5,000 BC, boiling eggs became more common. So here we are in 2021, still boiling eggs, but now it's become ever so much simpler. So every TM model can actually boil eggs, and they all just have a slightly different way of doing it. So being that we now have an egg boiling mode, let's have a look at it, because it's just the most exciting thing ever for egg lovers amongst you. Okay, so what we're going to do is go and find our cooking modes. And on the first screen now of our modes, we have the egg boiler mode. And here it is right here. So you have instructions here that you can read. And if you're a constant egg boiler, you'll get very used to this and won't need to read them more than once or twice. But basically it says how much water you need to put in the bowl. And then if you like your eggs runny or kind of soft with the white and the yolk, which type of egg, that's actually what you're aiming for. So I'm actually going to aim for medium soft eggs today, and then I'm going to get rid of those instructions. So here we are with the actual cooking mode, and I know that I need to add 1 litre of water. And I don't even have to actually weigh it, because I can just use the marker that's in the bowl. So you can see in here the markings on the bowl. There's the 1 litre mark where that little dot is. And I'm going to pop in enough water. Actually, what I might do is I might just pop my eggs in first, because that might be a little bit simpler. So I'm just going to pop 2 eggs in today. I'm going to pop them right in between the blades. And you can fit up to 6 eggs in here, which is really lovely. And I have done 6 before. And then my water into the 1 litre mark. There we go. And that is it, guys. Man, could it be any simpler? Alrighty. So now here, I'm actually just going to select. I don't have to worry about time, temperatures, or speed. I just have to dial up what kind of egg I wanted. And I'm going to select not the soft, but the medium soft. And then it just actually started all on its own. There go the robotic arms, and there goes the Thermomix. So that's much easier than putting your eggs on a coal fire or boiling them in pottery where you have to start at a fire for that first. So I'll be back in whenever the Thermomix tells me that it's ready on that automated function, and show you the boiled eggs.
Thanks, Denise. Hi, Teresa. Back with the tiramisu. Probably everyone's favourite.
I'm still whisking my eggs. I got 16 seconds.
Okay, no problem at all. So on that, people can also, I know I was asked recently, so, but can a Thermomix do egg whites? And we can share with you that many of us have become pavlova making experts since having Thermomix. So, but it's not that we've become excellent cooks, it's just that we know how to read. So we often say with Thermomix, you don't need to know how to cook, you just need to know how to read.
Well, this is done. It's now asking me to take out the butterfly whisk. And then I've just got to add the mascarpone to it. And then that is... Then I'm ready to layer my biscuits. So it's asking me to turn it on for 40 seconds on speed 3. And while I'm doing that, in that 40 seconds, I'm going to add all the mascarpone in it. So here we go.
So again, this is the same process for the pavlova. Once you've done your egg whites, you would be just putting the sugar through the lid there. Same with mayonnaise, those sorts of things for emulsifying. You can just be adding ingredients gently through the lid and it will combine those ingredients. There's actually a great lemon baked cheesecake I do, and you actually do the base and then you actually add the eggs through and it whisks them through one at a time. Amazing. Pop in the chat box if you love tiramisu.
Especially with Bailey's.
Yeah, especially when it's been spiked. And let's be honest, you wouldn't be a true Italian if you didn't spike it, Teresa. With
No,
a little
exactly. My mum would not forgive me if I didn't put something cheeky in there. Maybe next time I can do something clear so no one can tell. So that's all ready to go. So now all I need to do is get my biscuits, dip them into my coffee mixture, and then start layering them in the tray and then cover them with the spoon. So I'm sure I can show you.
Yeah, that's it. Lower the camera a little bit. That's great.
So we just dunk them in till they're nice and soaked but not falling apart. And then I'm going to put them into my tray. I'm not sure if you can see that now.
How much Baileys did you put in, Teresa?
It's the Italian way, mate. It's not measured, it's just thrown in. A little bit of this, in goes some of the bottle. So, yeah, no, don't know.
Half a cup for someone who is going to do it.
Yep.
A nip, a couple of nips.
Yeah, a couple of nips, as much as you want, really.
Yeah. So we can't see your food at the moment. We can just see your shirt.
Oh, well, that's not fun.
There. So if you're layering, if you could maybe, that's it, come back a bit. There we go.
So I'll just keep layering them, and then once I've layered them, I get to put the mascarpone on top, a layer of mascarpone, and then keep going.
So you're kind of layering it up like a lasagna.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So there we go. So shall I keep going and keep going with all the biscuits?
Yeah,
And
so we'll let you do that.
And then I just coat it with this. All right. We'll keep going then.
You keep layering up.
Yep. We're going to someone else while I'm there.
Yeah, we're going to head over to Susie now. So just with regards to timing and cooking. So we'll head over to you, Susie, if you're right to go.
Yes, I am. Thanks, Kirsten. Hi, everybody. Welcome to my kitchen in Aspendale Gardens. Today I'm just going to, I think I've got the easiest job today. When Michelle said we were going to do cooking experience from around the world, I had a bit of a think about what can I do that's Irish, and there's not really much on. Ireland doesn't have its own cookadoo, but there's a few Irish recipes in Cookadoo UK, and I found this recipe. It's a strawberry or a berry foam. So I'm just going to put it down so you can see the screen. So I'm from Southeast Ireland, and believe it or not, Southeast Ireland is famous for its fresh strawberries, and I actually grew up on a strawberry farm. So 6 weeks of the year, one of our favourite desserts was fresh strawberries and cream. But the rest of the year, one of my favourite desserts, which we were allowed as an occasional treat, was it was a packaged dessert called Angel Delight, and it was like a moussey, foamy dessert, probably full of sugar and preservatives, which was probably one of the reasons that my mum didn't let us have it very often. So I actually tried this out with the kids this week, and it did really remind me of Angel Delight. So I'm just going to grab the strawberries from the fridge.
Isn't it funny how food does that? Smells and tastes of food can take you back to your childhood.
There we go. So I had 2 punnets of strawberries. that I got from Woolies earlier this week on special. They were only $1.50 per pound of the strawberries, but I made a mistake of not not hiding them. So I only had 1 pound of the strawberries left. So I've got a mixture of frozen strawberries, and I've got some raspberries underneath as well. So sorry, I forgot to start off with the sugar. So this recipe is very similar to Fruity Dream. So if you've got a Thermomix already, or if you've been to a demo, chances are that you've actually seen this already. So the first step is to mill the sugar. So 140 grams of sugar, and I've just got, we're just using 70 grams because we thought that was a little bit too sweet with 140 grams. So this is just raw sugar, and we're just going to turn that into icing sugar. That's a speed 10 to 15 seconds.
While Susie's doing that, because obviously you can't talk while it's up at that speed, but that's where you'd be doing things like grinding coffee, making your own almond meal, making your own LSA mix. So they're all the ways that we save money with the Thermomix. Also,
so you would have seen
I'm sorry, Susie.
this trick with the icing sugar from the raw sugar just in 10 seconds. So 10 to 30 grams of lime or lemon juice. So I've got, yeah, that's my lime juice. So we've got lots of limes on our fruit trees. So it's always good to use them as well. And the egg white, 1 egg white. And sorry, I think I pressed next too quickly. Sorry about that. Yeah, sorry. The mixed berries, the most important ingredients. There's 500 grams of raspberries and strawberries. So just a little tip with making the Fruity Dream or the fresh fruit sorbet, make sure that your fruit isn't in big clumps. Make sure that you break it up enough that it fits through the hole in the lid. It's nice and even. And yeah, we've got the lime juice in there already. And I'm just going to pop the spatula through the mixing bowl lid when we're mixing that. And that'll just mix it at speed 5 for 40 seconds. So the next step is I'll be popping in butterfly whisk. So this is what the working magic with turning the egg white into a nice fluffy foam. So I'm just going to pop in the butterfly whisk. So it's very nicely mixed and fluffed up there, but we're just going to pop in the butterfly whisk, and we'll at speed 3.5, so just under the maximum of 4. Maximum speed of 4 with the butterfly whisk. Just pop that in and pop it into place. Let's get the lid on as well. So that's just going to whisk away for 3 minutes. Would you like me to keep talking, Michelle, or did you want to pop back to somebody else?
I need to go to Olivia because Olivia needs to get her frittata in the oven.
Yep.
Thanks, Kristen. Thanks, Susie.
Welcome back, everyone. So since you saw me last, I just mixed up my eggs in the Thermomix, and then I've cooked them on the hob for 5 minutes till they're almost done. And I'm going to add these beautiful vegetables that are sauteed in the Thermomix, and actually smell amazing with the addition of ginger, which I haven't made this recipe before, so I'm intrigued. I think it's going to be delicious. So I literally just pop those veggies on top.
That just shows how easy it is to use the Thermomix. Olivia said she's never made this before. Traditionally, we'd be, oh no, I just want to practice something before I'm presenting it. Now we just know that everything on Cookie Do has already been triple tested by Vorwerk, so it's guaranteed to work.
Yeah, look at the beautiful colours. I love that. So now I'm going to pop this in the oven for 15 minutes. Then I'm going to take it out and pop some soft goat cheese on top and back in the oven for another 4 minutes. So I'll whack that in and then I'll just show you. Another of the new features, upgrades, and for those who haven't seen Thermomix before, is the Thermomix actually cleans itself, which is pretty amazing, or does most of the hard work anyway. And with the new upgrades this week, there's actually enhanced cleaning modes. So if I just go in and show you that quickly, when I took out my eggs and vegetables, I popped in a litre of water and just a drop of washing up liquid. And then you go into the pre-clean mode and it gives you all the instructions about which type of pre-clean. It used to just be one pre-clean, but now you've got different levels depending on what you've been cooking. So there's one for dough, there's one universal for general food, one for fat or caramel, and one for when you've been browning things in the bowl and it might need a bit more of a clean. So it's as easy as selecting whichever one you want. Obviously, I've just been cooking this, so I'll probably go for a universal. So I just wanted to show you that it will take all of the elbow work out of cleaning my bowl as well. And I think I'm handing back to Michelle.
Hello, welcome back. So my 20 minutes of my onions has finished and I'm just going to swing you over here to back to my onions because all I need to do now, and I wish you could smell them, they smell absolutely amazing. I actually, when my husband and I lived in England, he had an aunt who used to say, just have onions on the stove when your husband gets home and it doesn't matter what you give him for dinner after that because onions smell so good. And I always think of that when I smell beautiful onions, especially caramelised ones. So the next step was just to add the 20 grams of the balsamic vinegar and a little bit of salt. Oh, I forgot my salt. Hang on. This is real life, real kitchens, not been pre-recorded. Here we go, a bit of salt. A little stir and all right, so this one we just need the measuring cup on. All right, so what I'm going to do, I actually, before we pop back to Lianne, I thought I'd just show you. So because I was doing onions, I kind of went, well, I think we'll have burgers for dinner tonight. And I was going to buy buns this morning, but one of the girls in my team made brioche buns yesterday. And I went, she kind of shamed me into making my own as well. So I made the dough before the class because it had to prove for an hour. But I just wanted to show you what that looked like. So I've got them, the dough, I've already done some of them, but I just wanted to show you how to work them because sometimes when you just try and roll something like this, it still kind of looks a bit, you know, creasy. So if you pinch it and fold it in to the bottom, and you can just turn it around a few times to do that. And then what that gives you is a smooth top. And then what you can do is get your hand and just do what we call the claw. Now you notice this silicone mat that I'm using here, this is actually a Thermomix silicone bread mat. And you can see now I've just got a beautiful round bun there. So I'm going to do the same with the others. Just pinch from the top to the bottom until you get a really nice round top. And just give it a few little rounds. Now this mat that I'm using here is, we've always had an amazing silicone bread mat, but this one is actually new in that it's got the circles, which is fantastic when you're working with pastries and doughs and things where it's giving you measurements to work with. So it's got a 60 by 40 along the outside edge, and then you've got the rounds for the center as well. So now that I've rolled those into my beautiful buns, I'm just going to move this over here. So these are the ones that I'd already done. In fact, they're already starting to prove. So these need to prove for about 20 minutes. So under a towel. So the others have already proved for about 10.
And I'm just going to sit that aside. So I just thought I'd show you. That wasn't on our menu today, but that's just a little trick that I learned at a class once. And I just thought sometimes when you're just trying to roll it, you just don't get that. It doesn't look as pretty. The truth is, once it's cooked, it actually doesn't matter. It still tastes great. But some of us like to have that beautiful clean top on our buns when we make them as well. They're just going to have a bit of an egg wash and some sesame seeds and pop in the oven, and they actually don't take long to cook, but the dough is really beautiful to work with. It actually kneaded for 10 minutes in the Thermomix. So that was, we say our 2 minutes of kneading is like a 1,000 hand kneads. So 2 minutes of kneading, I'd be there all day. So to not have to do that, it's awesome. we're going to have, you know, takeaway meal or fake away meal, but probably better. So just thought I'd share that tip with you. And I think we are popping back to Lianne. Lovely.
Hi. Yep, hi. You got it. All right, so after 25 minutes, this smells amazing, but that's your pot ribs pretty much already cooked. So we just have one other step to go. While I was cooking, Cookie Doo has asked me to mix in the rest of the passion fruit juice together with 1 teaspoon of cooking oil, half a tablespoon of corn flour, half a tablespoon of white rice vinegar, and 3 tablespoons of cashew nuts. That's a bit crushed as well into a small bowl. So that's what I have in here. And I'm going to pop that in there. It's going to create a little bit of a caramelized sauce. And it's going to cook for a further 3 minutes. So I think I'm going to pass you on to Susie while that's going.
Hi, Susie.
Okay, am I on?
You are.
Yeah, sorry, Michelle. So yeah, I just wanted to show you how amazing, how much the bowl filled up just by whisking it for the 3 minutes with the butterfly whisk. So yeah, sorry, I should have made it clearer earlier. That was actually fresh fruit that I had frozen, so it didn't look like the pre-bought frozen fruit that you buy from the supermarket. So even though it looked like it was fresh fruit, it had been frozen in the freezer. So I had just halved all the strawberries because, you know, they don't look like that with the pre-made ones. And yeah, I took advantage of strawberries being on special as well. So we are not actually going to have this now because we're going to save it for later. I'm going to pop it into the freezer, but I'm just going to show you very quickly a serving suggestion. This will be really good with the hot weather we've got ahead of us, and hopefully we'll be able to have kids around, or hopefully we're able to have other people over and have people around for entertaining us. Or if you're going to somebody else's house, it might be nice to bring this. I just wanted to show the bowl body, which is in the mix shop. And I just realized today, actually, I thought it just fit the brown thermos server, but it actually fits perfectly on the oval thermos server as well. So you could actually make this at home and then go to bring the fresh fruit sorbet, or you could bring the Fruity Dream to a friend's house and keep it cool in your thermos server. So I'm just gonna actually, sorry, I won't pop it into the thermos server because I can't freeze that. But yeah, just wanted to show you that as an idea for a really quick, healthy dessert, and ideal for barbecues and for the warm weather that's coming as well. Okay, Michelle, I'm not sure who's next.
It's me.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's me. So Susie actually just showed you the oval thermo server then. We have got a host, for those who are familiar with our host rewards, they are changing on the 1st of October. So as it stands, this month we have what we call sort of bundle host rewards. So you can access things like, I'll just reach over here, things like a combo of our oval and round thermo server together, or a combo of the round thermo server with 3 mini ones, or a combo of our bread mats. So they're things that you can get this month. Now the bread mats are staying, but what we're doing from the 1st of October is offering the thermo servers as individual items. So what that does is when you host, you can access these at a heavily reduced price. and it's just a lesser outlay for you when you purchase host reward. But if you do have a guest that purchases, you actually get them for free. So if you have introduced somebody, or you know somebody who would like to purchase a Thermomix, if you host this month, so you've got until Wednesday, because who can believe it, it's going to be October on Thursday, you can access big combos. So it's really worth doing. Now, what I'm going to do, and we've all talked about Cookie Do today and our amazing global platform. So I'm actually going to share my screen with you and just show you what that looks like and how it works. Can everyone see that okay? And what you will notice with that is that, as I mentioned before, it looks exactly the same as it does on the Thermomix. So it makes it really easy to transition from your Thermomix to your phone, to your laptop, to your iPad, to whatever device you're using, because it looks the same. So if you know what you want to cook, you could just go straight in here and go, you know, I really want to make a risotto, for example. Now you can see here, all the different risotto recipes come up. So I can then go, oh yeah, I can have a look through and see which of those I'd like to do. Now you'll notice that there are filters here, and the filter that's automatically applied is Australia, because that's where I'm registered. So there's 31 results found in Australia. Now, if I wanted to expand that and see, well, what are the other countries got? If I get rid of that filter, now I've got over 1,000 results for risotto on our national platform. So that's just to give you a little bit of an idea. Now, if you don't know what you want to make, but you get to the end of the week and you go, oh, I've got some sweet potato. What am I going to make with that? You can just type in that particular ingredient. So here you've got choices of soups, slices, little frittatas, little oatmeal bars, little bellinis, a salad, a mash. So you've got all these different ideas to give you, oh, here we go, sweet potato and zucchini frittata, yum. So you've got all these different ideas of what you can do with that ingredient. You could put a couple of ingredients in. You might write, can't spell. There we go. You might put sweet potato and chicken, and then you'll get options with both of those. So it gets to the end of that week and you're doing your fridge clean out and you can have a little bit of a look. With the filters, you can really drill down. So you might go, I'm just looking for a pasta or rice dish. I don't know what I'm looking for. Or I'm looking for a main dish that's vegetarian. I've got my friend who's vegetarian coming for dinner. I'm looking to do some baking, whether it be sweet or savoury. So you can really drill down as to what it is that you want to make. Then you can go down here. So again, you can be popping ingredients in here. And you can put a couple in. So you might have capsicum and zucchini or whatever it might be. You just pop them in there. As far as the tags go, things like whether it be budget friendly or whether it be gluten-free or dairy-free. So you can pop in those sorts of tags in there. You can also select meals based on the level of difficulty. So, you know, midweek you might focus around easy, and then if you're doing something a bit fancier and you've got more time on a weekend, you might go to the advanced level. You can choose by portion size, prep times, ratings as well. So we do have a rating system that was introduced earlier this year, and the ratings are done by you and me. So whoever cooks the recipe can then rate it at the end, and that's who the recipes, that's who's rating the recipes. Now here you'll notice a little thing here. I don't know if you've seen the Facebook posts or emails, but next year we're really excited that Thermomix are launching a product called the Thermomix Friend. So the Friend is going to be our base unit that you can pop your jug on to do long, slow cooking, which then frees up your Thermomix to be doing other things. Say you've got something on slow cook and then you want to whip up a salad or a smoothie or a cake or anything like that in the background, you can be doing that on your main Thermomix and just have your bowl on your Friend. So that's all we know about it at this stage, but it is due out next year. And if you are interested in knowing more about that, let your consultant know. And then when it does come out, she will let you know all about it. We're looking for a sort of looking at a mid-year or next year. And then you can see here, you've got all the different countries. So it's really spoilt for choice as to how many recipes you can find. If you want to use translate apps, you can look all over. Or what I often do is just search in the ones that I know that are in English. So I might go Australia and Canada. And then I've got, okay, so I've got 7,669 recipes in English. So I think that should be enough for me to find something that I might like to make. So I look at this and go, oh, I really like the look of that salad there. Then what I can do here is go into, signed me now. Sorry, girls.
What's his address? I'm afraid it's not that simple.
Haunted me out. Hang on a second. I was wondering where my save dots were. There we go. Technology. Here we go. Now, I should mention actually, for anyone who's interested in having a look at Cookie Do, you can sign up for a 30-day free trial. So please jump in and have a look. It's available to anybody. And even if you don't have a Thermomix that does guided cooking, you can actually go in and just do the recipes manually on your TM31 as well. So see how all the recipes have got these 3 little dots here. So you can go into any of those and go, gee, I really like the look of that. I'm going to add that to my week. And we might have that on Tuesday night. I'll save that. And I'm going to add it to my shopping list because I'm going to need the ingredients that are in there as well. So when I now go to my week, I can have a look at all the things that I've saved. I found this when I knew I was doing burgers. I found this Big Mac style sauce, which I thought looked quite cool as well. And these are the burger buns that I'm making. The other thing is that you've had really clear pictures. So you know what you're making, you know what it's going to look like. You can change the view of that as well. And for those with a TM6, that same little tab is on your machine. So you can change the view on your machine as well. And then you'll see to the right there, I've got a shopping list. So I can go into this shopping list here and say, show ingredients. And it'll actually file it by category. So the way you would shop in the supermarket. Now, anything that you've got, you can go, oh, yeah, I don't need to buy the sesame seeds. I've got those. I don't need to buy water. I've got wine. I've got yogurt. So you can go through and tick off the things that you don't need to buy because you've already got. And then what you're left with is the shopping list of what you actually need to buy. So you've got a couple of choices from there. So from there, you can go in here and print that list out. If you want giving that to someone else to take to the supermarket, you can share the list, which will copy it to a clipboard, and then you can text it or email it to somebody else. You can, of course, just take your phone in with the app on it, and as you pop things in your trolley, tick them off the list, as I was doing like that before. But what we have here, really bringing our smart connected kitchen full circle, is the ability to order the ingredients. So at a time when we're trying to not go to the supermarket as often and work with what we've got, we can actually click on this order ingredients button and it will take us straight through to the Woolworths online ordering system. How cool is that? I can't actually see you. I was about to say give me a thumbs up if you like that, but I can't see you anyway. But maybe give me some chat box love if you think that's cool. So what it will do now is take me through to Cookie Do, and it will actually have all those ingredients that I need to purchase on the list here. Now, if I'm looking at something and going, oh, actually, I don't really like that particular brand of something, I might go, no, I don't want that brand of soy paste. I'm going to have a look and see what else there is. No, I'm going to keep that one because there's nothing else. There we go. How ironic. I'm going to have a look at this maple syrup here and swap it out for something else. Yeah, I prefer this brand, so I'm going to swap that over. So you can go through the whole list and have a look at the different items and swap them for the thing that you would like. Then down in the bottom right corner here, I've got my Woolworths total. It's $156, and I just have to click on that to add it to my Woolworths shopping cart. And voila, I can choose to have it delivered to my door, or I can do a click and collect. Who likes that idea? I know a few of you have been using it already, which is pretty cool. It was launched to us consultants back in about sort of July, and they said to us, look, just try it out. We want to make sure if there's any glitches or anything, you guys can try it and feed it back to us. But it was available for customers anyway. So we had customers ringing us going, oh, I just stumbled across this order ingredients button and I've just done my grocery shopping. So I think the people who've been using it have really thoroughly enjoyed it. So it's been amazing. Now, girls, are we ready to go to someone, or do you want me to keep talking for a minute? Because I've got a few things to talk about if no one's ready.
I think you should just keep talking, Michelle.
I'm ready.
Oh.
That's Lianne.
Thanks, Teresa.
Teresa, sorry, Teresa. Let's go and see the gorgeous Teresa.
So I've now done 2 layers, and in between each layer, like a lasagna, I've put the mascarpone mix, and I've actually covered it with chocolate, which I've grated in the Thermomix. It asks us to do cocoa, but I prefer dark chocolate, so I've grated that and put it all on top, and that will be covered and in the fridge for 5 hours and then ready to enjoy.
Yum! That's awesome, Teresa. Awesome.
hubby's birthday today, so we'll get to enjoy it tonight.
Ah, beautiful. Are you coming back to us or are we back to me now?
Back to you.
Oh, there we go. Cool. Awesome.
Sorry.
Well, before I keep talking, so they've been sitting under the towel. You can see that they've puffed up beautifully. And I've just got some egg yolk here, and I'm just going to brush the top of those and throw them in the oven. So as I say, this was just a little extra thing today, but I figure if we're doing burgers, I'm really coming full circle with doing all of it.
And that Big Mac sauce that you pointed out, Michelle, is beautiful. I have a teenager who eats Big Macs, and I made that for her the other day, and it was a big thumbs up, and she started eating it by the spoonful. So my recommendation for it is cook it or make it the day before, and then it's beautiful. So yeah, try that with it too.
Awesome, I will. Well, I'll make it when we're finished here, and then at least it'll get to sit for a couple of hours before we have dinner. Beautiful. Right, so I'm going to pop those in the oven. Thanks for the tip on that. That's one of the things that we do. We all kind of share that information with each other. Now I think I'm just setting the timer on my oven because I tell you what, I'm great with the Thermomix, but I can definitely fail at the oven if I haven't got a timer on. So I was talking before about purchase gifts. So I just wanted to show you that what we have until the end of this month is this beautiful Eat Well cookbook. Now, anyone who joined us last week, we did a range of recipes from here last week, and they were all amazing. And there are some meat recipes in here, but if you are following more vegetarian diet or just trying to add more vegetables into your diet, this book has got, we ended up doing a full vegetarian class last week because we all sort of went through it and picked the things that we liked and organically just went towards all the beautiful salads. I think it's that whole Eat the Rainbow, all those colourful things. So this book, along with our rose gold 12-hole muffin tray and the rose gold pizza tray, are the free gift with purchase this month. But because we are at the end of the month, Thermomix do like to share with us what's available next month. So people who are buying now have got the choice. So, you know, one thing that I love about Thermomix is that we're all about choice. And, you know, even this virtual world, when things go back to normal, when things go back to normal, we're very optimistic that they will, this is still going to be an option. So if someone, you know, if you're there going, oh, a friend of mine's really interested in Thermomix, she doesn't really have time to host a cooking experience, you know, in her home, she works funny hours, or she does, just jump on a Zoom. So we can say to you, would you like an in-home cooking experience, or would you like to just jump on a Zoom with me and I can show you through the Thermomix that way? So it's all about choice. So the choice for October, so this month's offer, which I've just shown you, is a free gift with purchase. Next month, we have a bundle offer. So coming into, you know, we're in spring and coming into, not that today's weather's representative of this, but barbecue season. Whereas some of the other girls mentioned, hopefully we can have some people over to have barbecues and berry foam with. We're doing a bundle offer. So the bundle offer includes our barbecue cookbook, our barbecue skewers, and the Meter Plus. Now what this is as a thermometer. So they're actually valued at $199. So this bundle offer is that for an additional $49, you can access all of this for $49. So it's definitely well worth it. The thing about the meter too is it will make a really great Christmas gift for your husband or your dad or your partner, you know, someone who loves to barbecue. So it can be used in the Varoma, so in the Thermomix, but it can be used in your Weber or in your barbecue or in your oven as well. So, or on your stovetop, just cooking the perfect steak. I must say, I've always struggled cooking the perfect steak, and I have used this now, and so you pop in what you're cooking, how you want it cooked, and it'll give you the timing, the weight of the meat as well, and then it'll give you exactly the timing. And it's actually an app on your phone, so it beeps to tell you it's ready. It's very cool. So I'm going to pop that aside because I realise I haven't shown you my onions. So the onions actually chimed a minute ago to tell me that they were ready. And now they've just got this really beautiful, I'm going to bring my camera down to avoid. We actually are having a laugh in the team recently about saying that we really need to make like a bloopers reel of when we go like this, and we've poured soup on the floor, we've poured curry on laptops, we've done all sorts of fun stuff. So I mentioned before about the mini thermo server. So, you know, I had these bigger guys, which I was showing you before. But for my onions, I only need a mini one. So, whoops, That could have ended badly. There's no food in those stuff. So what I'm going to do is just transfer these into my thermoserver, which will keep them hot for a couple of hours. Now, we actually do say it keeps food hot or cold for a couple of hours. So, Susie, you could actually put your thermoserver in the freezer. And if you would then go into a picnic or something later, which you can actually take that with you, and it would keep your berry foaming and cold for a couple of hours. So,
yeah, sorry, Michelle. I meant that.
Then you'd need it, wouldn't you?
I use it all the time, so that's why I didn't put it in the freezer.
Yeah, that's right. So I thought that was probably.
I didn't mean that it wasn't safe to put it in the freezer.
Beautiful. So I've got that there in my little mini thermoserver. So it's sitting there ready for when we put the buns together later. I've sliced my tomato. I've got my lettuce ready to go. The buns will be out soon. The onions are there. So we've really got some exciting things sort of happening. So now, girls, sing out to me if we need to go back to anybody. Has everyone shown all the steps now and we're just presenting when we're finished? Is that right?
I think everyone's pretty much ready now.
Oh, beautiful. All right, well, let's go and see everybody.
Okay, we're going to head to Denise first.
Awesome.
Okay, hi everyone, welcome back. So the eggs are done and ready to go. And one thing I didn't mention before when they started cooking was just that egg boiler mode, it automatically stops the blade so that your Thermomix bowl is actually acting as a saucepan, but with a temperature control and a timer, of course, built in. So you could present your eggs in anything as humble as this to something a little bit more exotic. And I was inspired by one of the other consultants, Lianne, in our team the other day, who did an amazing presentation of some eggs. So I found a recipe that actually used dukkha. So this is a pistachio dukkha that I've just made as well this morning. And I've presented the eggs with a little bit of color on the plate with some sliced alternate red and green apples and a little bit of mint. And all they're ready to eat and consume beautifully with this is actually a cup of coffee, but very soon it'll have one of these in it as well. So this too from the mix shop. So there you go, some beautiful boiled eggs from the 21st century versus the Neolithic century. Enjoy your eggs, everyone.
They look amazing, Denise. We're going to head over to Lianne now.
Hi everyone. So the rips are ready. There it is. So it has a really caramelized outer layer, which is absolutely delicious. And all I did was to add a few more of the crushed cashews on top. So yeah, have a go because it's really, really good.
It looks amazing, Lianne.
Thanks, Michelle.
Again, so I can do a little screenshot of you.
Oh.
With you in it too. Thanks, hon. Yay. Yum. That's something you get in a restaurant and pay a lot of money for. I love it.
I know, it's a great fake away.
Yeah.
Friday fake away. Yeah.
Thanks, Lianne.
No worries. Over to Angie. Oh no, Olivia.
Olivia.
Hi everyone. So yeah, so my frittata is out of the oven. I won't touch the dish because it's still hot, but then I just scattered over the parsley that we chopped right at the beginning, and it's got all that gooey, yummy goat's cheese melted on top. Set for our dinner.
Thanks, Olivia. I'm just gonna. Can you hold that up again for me? Sorry, I missed you. Oh, you can't. Oh,
bit hot.
Yeah. Don't burn yourself. There we go. Love it. Thank you so much. That looks absolutely delicious. And you do live within 5 kilometres of me.
Send you the leftovers if there are any.
There probably won't be any.
Okay, over to Angie now.
Hi, welcome back, guys. Before presenting you, I just have a quick tip to show you guys. While you're cooking something with turmeric, look at the lid. It turned yellow. Don't worry about that. Just put it under the sun for about 24 hours. Then the yellowish color will go away. Okay. So now back to my beautiful Ayam kapitan. Can you see it?
Looks amazing.
Yeah, and this one is go well with the nasi lemak, the coconut rice I cooked earlier today. Okay.
Beautiful, Angie.
Thank you for coming, guys. Enjoy this.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Over to Susie.
Your mum's been on. Yeah.
Susie. Right. Hello, back to me. Not sure we lost her. I think she's gone off to eat her berry foam. But thank you so much for joining us. I'm sure she'll be back in a second. So as I mentioned before with Cookie Do, you can access a 30-day free trial. So please do that and have a bit of a look at the world of recipes. If you've got a TM5, when the Cookie Do first launched, it didn't have a lot on offer, and as consultants, we didn't really promote it that much, but now it's absolutely life-changing. The inspiration of what to cook, the meal planning, all of that. So I'd really revisit it if it's not something you've if you looked at a few years ago and haven't looked at now, or if you haven't looked at it at all, definitely have a look. Once you get your TM6, you do get 6 months free subscription, and then it's only $49 a year after that to maintain that subscription. So the cookbooks that I've shown you today, our cookbooks are normally $50. So most people, when they get a new appliance, a cooking appliance, they probably buy 3 or 4 cookbooks in a year anyway. So for the price of one, you have access to all of those. But if you do find one that you go, gee, I really like a heap of recipes in that book, then you can buy the book as well. And you know, there is something nice about flicking through glossy pages. Our books also do offer other information in the front, meal plans and recipe ideas and extra hints and tips as well. So a lot of people really appreciate that. So I just thought I'd mention again about our different payment options. Now, the way we work to protect your privacy is once you want to order, just let your consultant know. She will create an order link for you. You'll get an email with a draft shopping cart just asking you to complete your payment. So with that, as I mentioned before, for a few more days, we can offer you an earn TM6 with only 4 sales. After that, it goes back to 6. We do have 2 payment plans available. So one is 3 payments over 3 months on a credit card, and the other is our 36 months interest free, which just launched last week and goes until the 18th of November. So as I mentioned, it's just over $16 a week. There are some setup costs involved as well, but we will give you some detail on that when you speak to your consultant. And then of course, one-off payment list as well. Now, we've talked about a few different things today from our mix shop. So we do have on our website, we've got an amazing mix shop, which is all of different things, whether it be ice cream scoops, ice cream containers, bread mats, baking, the rose gold bakeware. So we've got lots of amazing things. There's new products being added all the time. I actually bought a grissini roller the other day. I haven't even had a chance to use it yet, but it has arrived. So I will be making grissini very soon. There's all sorts of fun things in there as well. So please, when you're on there, be sure to nominate your consultant as your consultant, so she knows what you've bought and she can support you through the journey of what you've made. I'm just going to check my buns to see how they're looking, and so I can show you. Wow. All right, so they're actually not quite ready yet, but I just wanted to show you how they look so far, because they're probably going to be another 7 or 8 minutes, and we may not still be here then. But do we want to go back to Susie with her, or was we good, girls?
No, we'll leave it.
We're all good? Lovely.
Oh no, she's put her hand up, I think. Susie, do you want to?
We're being very organic today, aren't we?
It's on you, Sue. Did you want to show your...
To unmute yourself.
You're muted, Susie.
No, that's all right. We'll go back to Michelle.
Lovely. Thank you, everybody. I think she had a display one and then she started to eat it. I did that last week. I did this really beautiful coconut rice pudding, and I did a really beautiful display, which I showed everybody. And then before I photographed it, I'd eaten it all and then went, oh. So then that night I asked my husband if he wanted rice pudding, and I served it up, and it was served on this tray with berries and a bit of ice. He's like, what's this? I go, I had to photograph it first. So,
yeah. Sorry, Michelle. I couldn't unmute myself.
That's all right, honey.
But I figured it out.
You figured it out.
I've got I do have some of the berry foam left, and it's very foamy and it's very tasty. I've hidden some other fresh strawberries to for the presentation, but I've hidden them so well I can't remember where I put them.
One of those kids probably found them.
The kids wouldn't take them. Yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah, so really good and really fluffy.
That's funny. I will definitely make that. It looked amazing. Thank you to everyone who's joined us today. I know that there's a couple of people on here today who are interested in joining our team. I will stay on at the end to have a chat with you, but please, anything you'd like, whether to be host your own cooking experience, purchase a TM6. If you want just more information about anything, please reach out to us because we're all about customer service. We want you guys to get the best out of your Thermomix. We want to share with you, we want to learn from you, and hopefully you've learned from us. I'd love it before you go, if you pop in the chat box, what's one thing you're going to take away from today? Something that you've learned, something you're going to make, a tip. It might just be putting Baileys in the tiramisu. I'm not sure. I think everyone loved that tip, Teresa. So yeah, please put that in because it will give us a bit of inspiration of what you might like to see next. Or if you've got something you would like to see that we haven't done yet, please pop that in the chat box as well. Thanks everybody. Happy cooking. And thanks girls, you did a great job today in the background. We were very organic today. I love it.
Always a bit of fun, isn't it?
Always.